To stay up to date, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Hi everybody, Ira Miller here with ERA Grizzard Real Estate, the Village's expert. Here with one of my wonderful teammates, Ashley Raven, who I'm sure you've already seen before. Today we're coming to you from the Mulberry Grove Recreation Center up here in the Marion County area of the Villages. Mulberry Grove actually runs, or actually it doesn't front, but Highway 42 is right behind Mulberry Grove. So we are at the extreme northern area of the Villages. Now, you might ask, why are we showcasing the Marion County area in the Villages? Well, for a number of reasons. Number one, the housing prices up here are wonderful. And number two, bonds are very low in this area, probably $4,000 at the most for one of the designer homes in this area. And three, I started thinking about this. Where the Villages is selling now is up in the Finney area, as I'm sure you all know about. Finney, DeSoto, McClure, Linden, Marsh Bend, all those areas. Now, that area, no commercial property. There's pretty much nothing up there. It's separated away from the rest of the Villages right now. They say they're gonna go ahead and put a golf cart garage, but a golf cart path. But if you think about it, as far south as that is, if you were to take that cart path all the way, say, to Brownwood, it's gonna be a heck of a travel. But anyways, here where we are, we're in Marion County. This is the contiguous part of the Villages. You can get by golf cart anywhere you want. We're gonna go ahead and do a drone flyover so you can see all the commercial aspects of this area, and we'll go ahead and do some videos on the ground as well. What we'll do is we have Soulier Villas up 42. They're pretty new villas that the Villages just built. We have Phillips Villas over here to our east. We have the VA clinic. We have the Mulberry Grove Shopping Center. There's a lot of restaurants up here. Medical, Walgreens is right over here. This is a wonderful area. I don't understand why it has a sort of a stigma of coming up here in this area, probably because it is so far from the squares. But like I said, Finney, DeSoto, all those areas, you can't even get to a square from there right now. But if you lived up here, you could. The bonds in Finney, they run around $24,000. So bonds here are $20,000 less than what they are in the new area of Finney and DeSoto, in that area. So I just wanted to showcase Marion County. The landscaping is very mature. There's no building going on here. You don't have any construction traffic going around. Everything you can possibly want and need is already up here for you. So why not? This is a wonderful area. If you're considering Finney, please consider the Marion County section of the Villages as well. All right, so let's get started. We're not gonna go and walk through the Mulberry Grove Rec Center. We wanna just do kind of an overview. If I started going in every single one of these places, this video would be 2 hours long, and we don't wanna have to watch a 2-hour video of everything, I'm sure. So what we'll do is, again, I'll jump in the van. We will just do drive-bys of everything. I want to show you everything that's in this area. This place is packed. We're gonna go ahead and I'll pan around here. There's cars, there's pickleball, there's everything going on up here that goes on in the rest of the Villages. So, you know, you do not want to omit the Marion County section of the Villages in your home search, okay? So, all right, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see you again probably at the other end of the Marion County section of the Villages. We'll go and end this at the south end right now, like I said, we're at the extreme northern end, and then we're going to show you everything in between. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so just to kind of emphasize, Mulberry Grove Recreation Center is a regional recreation center. So as you may or may not know, the regional rec centers have the sports pools with them. And then as you may be able to see in the distance, they have tennis going on over there. They have pickleball going on over there. Everybody's out there having a bunch of fun as they do here in the villages. And you can see all the cars that are over here on this side. So trust me, these people have found the Marion County area. Okay, so this is what the inside. It's beautifully decorated, as all of them are. Like I mentioned, this is the fitness club. Let me take you over here to these rooms. You have the craft room. This is the card room over here.
You're not really working. And I really wasn't working before. I wasn't doing
And all of the regional rec centers have pretty much the exact same floor plan. They're just all decorated and themed differently. So here is where they keep their clay and their paints for their ceramics. Here's some of the ceramics that people have been working on here. They do have art classes in here. This is where they roll out the clay when into sheets, so they could work with that. And then this room, this is where they have the killings. And there's some of your products getting ready to go into the kiln, and then looks like those were already done. All right, so as you can see, all the cars that are over here, which are on the backside of the recreation center itself, and we'll just do a drive-by of the rec center and show you all that there's available here at Mulberry Grove Recreation Center. Here's the sports pool where all the locker rooms are and the bathrooms. And then there's the pool over there. You can see everybody playing bocce ball over here. And then all the people playing pickleball. So I said there was tennis, but it doesn't look like there's any tennis over here. Looks like all bocce ball. All right, so we're approaching the commercial area of the villages. Over here to our right is Citizens First Bank, owned by the villages. They have 12 different branches throughout the villages, as well as all the ATM machines at the postal stations. And then you have the club, which has been in existence, I guess, about 3 years now. It's a health and rehabilitation center. And then we have your shopping center over here. And then anchored on one end by a restaurant called Beef O'Brady's. And you have a bunch of other shops in between. Publix grocery is right in the middle. You have a little liquor store over there, Sammy Joe's Pizzeria. When we swing around, I'll show you everything that's over on the left side of us, but right now I'm going to show you what's over here on the right. So this shopping center is anchored on the other end by Subway. And just to the east, we're traveling east right now, and just on the east end of this shopping center is the VA clinic. And you can see all the vehicles that are in here visiting the VA clinic for one reason or another. And just to kind of point out all the trees that are, the mature trees that are in this area, like I mentioned before. So this is the VA clinic. It's quite large. It's an outpatient clinic, so you don't have anybody staying here. They do have a place where you can stay, a VA hospital, and that's up in Gainesville, which isn't all that far away. Gainesville is probably about, I guess, about an hour and a half from here at the most. And then we do have, like I was telling you, we have Phillips Villas, and we're going to show you that in just a second. All right, so we're leaving the VA clinic area, and then the Villages has a lot of commercial area up here on the left side of me, but we'll show you that in a second. That's Phillips Villas. Those are pretty new. I mean, those aren't more than 2 years old. Most of the homes built in the Marion County area are between 2002 and 2004. All right, so, and then all this vacant area that you see out here, they're just going to keep building more and more commercial buildings in this area. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the right side of this road. Now that's Highway 42 out there where you see the cars running along. That again is the northernmost edge of the Villages. There's nothing of the Villages on the opposite side of that road. Now you have a lot of medical facilities up here in this area for medical support. The Villages does have their own health care centers. So this is the Villages Health Care Center here in Mulberry. And you have Lake Medical Imaging, so if you need any kind of x-rays or MRIs, you don't have to go any further than right here. Cody's Roadhouse. There's a Cody's in Lake Sumter Landing, but they decided they were going to go ahead and build a restaurant. It's a barbecue restaurant, and they had enough faith in this area to go ahead and build a restaurant out here, and it does very well. There's a car repair place here. There's a gas station here. Walgreens drugstore is here. So you will not want for anything if you live out here in this section of the Villages. Okay, so this is the front of Mulberry Grove Recreation Center. Let's go ahead and kind of do a little flyover. Give you a little shot of what it looks like from the air. Over here we have the sports pool. And then we'll fly over all the pickleball courts and all the other recreation that we have below. That gives you a little better perspective than from the ground. There's your horseshoe pits over there on the right. Pickleball courts below. Let me show you the, that's a villa neighborhood. Let me show you where the emergency station is. And that's it right there. So there's the emergency station. And then a little helicopter pad. And then I'll show you the Marion County area. Hopefully this isn't too dark. We had a cloud come over the top of us here. There's part of the Nancy Lopez course and the villa neighborhoods in the area. And then that's the commercial area. We'll do a flyover of that too, so you can see what that looks from the air. There's some doctor offices right below us to the left. And then those are the ones with the red roofs. That building right there behind them is Walgreens. This is Citizens First Bank of Mulberry Grove. You have a Shell gas station. A huge rehab center. This is called the Club over here. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention was the VA clinic that we have up here. So there's Cody's Restaurant to the left. And then there's all your shopping. You have a Publix grocery store. What's on the corner here is Beef O'Brady's, which is a sports bar and grill. Here's your Publix shopping center. And then just beyond that is your VA clinic, which is a huge facility. So vets definitely love it up here. Oh, sorry about that. And then the new villa neighborhood I was telling you about that the Villages just put in is right there in front of us. And then I guess there's going to be some more commercial growth in that area. So they're still building up here. Down below us is the Villages health care system. That's Highway 42, so that's the northernmost point of the Villages right there. All right, so that gives us a little overview of what we have for you up here in Marion County. Certainly a lot more than what Finney has at this point in time, and it's probably going to be a few years, I would imagine, before they get anything like this up and running. Because it certainly has taken a few years just to get this much commercial up here in this area. All right, so we're passing the pickleball area of Mulberry Grove. I just wanted to give you a little perspective of the community. And just on the other side of this roundabout, we have the emergency facility. So you have your police, you have your fire, you have your rescue. All of that is right here in this area. You even have a helicopter pad, a life flight, that if need be, they can fly a helicopter in here, and if it's an extreme emergency, get you whisked up to maybe Gainesville. Gainesville has Shands Hospital, the University of Florida's hospital. It's a teaching hospital. A lot of people go up to Shands if it's an extreme dire emergency. That's what they'll do. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll go through some of the neighborhoods and show you some of the features at each neighborhood. All right, so Calumet Grove is our very first community coming in from the north, and we'll just do a little drive-through here. All right, so look at this neighborhood. Isn't this a beautiful neighborhood? Oh, I see one of my clients out here. We'll put her on. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How's everything going? We're gonna put you on YouTube if that's okay. You enjoy it?
With how hard I work.
Yeah. This way Lee can see it anytime he wants to look.
Yeah, he's out golfing.
He's out golfing while you're working. Okay, we'll have to have a talk with him about that. See you later. All right, so we're coming through the neighborhood. Just wanted to give you a shot of an exit. That takes you over to the Baptist church. And actually, I think that what they're trying to do as well is have a way for the villas at Soulier Villas be able to come through that exit to get back to the villages. Right now, those Soulier Villas do not have a way by golf cart to get over to this part of the villages. Okay, so now's about as good a time as any to talk about the sinkholes that you may or may not have heard about here in the Marion County area. What I can tell you is the sinkholes that I know of are in the retention ponds. Now, there was an incident, which is right down this road, where some metal culverts that were going between two homes, they had corroded, and when a sinkhole happened in the retention pond behind their house, these and all the water was sucked out of the retention pond. There was no water holding up these culverts inside. They collapsed because they were so rusted and so corroded, they just caved in on themselves, and all the dirt and all the sand and everything that was on top of them in between the two homes collapsed and caused a catastrophic failure in these homes. So that happened between two of the homes here behind one of the Nancy Lopez country clubs. Now, again, it wasn't a sinkhole, it was a culvert that collapsed on itself that caused the damage to these homes. That's the only incident that I've ever heard of any kind of sinkhole or cave-in or anything like that in any of the homes here in Marion County. I have not heard of any other home in Marion County that has suffered any damage Now, I may be wrong. I'm just saying, I've been here a long time. I haven't heard of any. So, and I have heard of other sinkholes somewhere else in a different part of the villages that did develop in a home, in a front home, in a side home, in a side yard of a home. So not so in this part of the county. But honestly, folks, a sinkhole can develop anywhere in the state of Florida simply because we have the aquifer that runs underneath this peninsula. And so any kind of infiltration, like a hole or something that went into the aquifer, could cause a collapse right into the aquifer. So that's a little explanation about sinkholes and about sinkholes in Marion County. In my opinion, it's very safe up here. Like I said, the only sinkholes I know of is the one that's in the retention pond back here, and there's another retention pond over closer to the country club of Marion County, of Nancy Lopez Country Club. So anyways, there you have that. I'll give you a little peek of the of down the road here. It says road closed, but we can kind of sneak down there a little bit. And I actually sold a home right down here to some clients, and they live right on the golf course, which is right behind all these row of homes here, and they actually live behind that retention pond. So, so maybe we'll go over their house, and I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's going on back there. Okay, so we're fighting the sunlight a little bit. It's a little bit later in the day, but Vince and Marilyn, these are my clients. These are the people I sold this home to, and they were not involved in the sinkhole, but the home next door to them, this home and the other home, developed the issues I was talking about, where the culvert actually caved in on them. So I guess the moral to that story is you probably don't want to buy a home that is in between a storm drain culvert. So this is what the one home looks like with the damage, because in between these two homes there was a cave-in from that retention pond. And this is the storm drain that caused the cave-in. So let me go ahead and take you through Marilyn and Vince's property so no one else can yell at me about that. Okay, so this is Marilyn and Vince's home. As you can see, no damage. Here they started the underpinning for this home, and they're underpinning and jacking up the entire home to save that. And so this is the retention pond that caused all the problems. Now, obviously, you see all the water in this retention pond, so they have fixed it. I do have videos of what it looked like with the sinkhole. And I'll give you a little sneak peek of the homes affected in between. And they've filled in the areas that were affected. And you can see a sinkhole company or a underpinning company is doing work on shoring up this property. And looks like they're They were doing some work on here too, but it looks like it might have stopped. So I do know there's a lawsuit involved. So that may be part of the issue. But anyways, there you have it about sinkholes in the villages. All right, so here's a look at the Calumet Grove pool. As you can see, there's a lot of people spending time here today. The mailbox station is across the street. I'm gonna go ahead and take us around to the Chatham Rec Center. This will house the family pool, and this will be a community rec center. So Mulberry Grove was the regional rec center for the area. Chatham Rec Center is the community pool. And then we have the Calumet Grove pool, which is considered a neighborhood pool. If you've seen my video on all about the rec centers, we explain about the different types of pools in this community. So neighborhood pools, adults only. Community rec centers have the family pools, and the regional rec centers have the sports pools. So here we go from Calumet Grove into Chatham. And this is the village of Chatham. It does have 3 executive golf courses over here. So plenty of golf on the executive courses. This is a shot of one of them. And then Chatham Rec Center backs up to that executive course. And this is what the Chatham Rec Center looks like. Now we are in March, so this is the season, and I'm sure that's a good reason why there are all of these people here. Actually, this is probably the end of March, and a lot of these people are getting ready to go home because January, February, and March are the most popular months for seasonal folks, renters, and people who have just a seasonal home here in the villages. So they're probably trying to enjoy their last days here on property before they have to leave in a couple of days. Probably want to get themselves a nice tan before they go back to the cold north. All right, so over here are tennis courts. So all of the pickleball courts are over at the regional rec center, and then the tennis courts are over here at Chatham. And then you have your horseshoe pits, your bocce ball pits. There's your golfers coming off some of the executive courses. So you have Amberwood and Oakley are 2 of the executive courses. And then there's one more in this area as well. All right, next stop is the Nancy Lopez Country Club.